Welcome to the channel, RacerX here, and today I want to talk a little bit about Dodge's new EV muscle car that is supposed to be coming out in, well, about a month's time. I figure I'll go ahead and give you guys my actual thoughts on what this car will really be, the kind of horsepower I think it's going to make. Will it be a success? Today I will tell you all about it. Today's video should be pretty short, but like I said, we are right on the cusp of them unveiling this brand new EV muscle car. So I figure what better time to kind of give you my true thoughts on what this car will actually be like. If you're new to my channel, please do me a big gigantic favor. Please subscribe right down here in the corner. You can follow me on Instagram as well, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Now, Dodge has been teasing us about this new EV muscle car for many, many months. We've seen it in their Dodge garage. We do know a few things about this. We know it's going to have that Fradsog symbol on the front. It's that little triangle all the way back from the 60s is where they got that from. So they're going to go a little bit retro with that. The styling on this thing looks very different. We know it's going to be all-wheel drive, and they've made no bones about it. They said, why did we do this? We said, because of performance. Now, I think part of why they did this is because they had to. I think most of you guys would agree with that in terms of all the things coming down from the EPA, all the different pressures out there, the new laws, the exhaust stuff coming down, especially out in places like California. There's all sorts of external pressures on Dodge and Mopar, Stellantis, if you will. And so now we see this new EV muscle car that's supposed to be unveiled next month at one of the big car shows. And so I did put a poll out on my channel, on my community page, where I asked everybody, what kind of horsepower do you think this new EV muscle car is going to make? And it seems like the vast majority of the folks that did vote actually said that this thing is going to make more than 1,000 horsepower. So what is my take on the horsepower it's going to make? And well, will it be a success? So my answer to this question really kind of comes in two parts. Will it make over 1,000 horsepower? A lot of you guys think so. I also think that it will make over 1,000 horsepower. We know it's going to be on the STLA large platform. Will it have 2 or 3 batteries? I don't know that yet. It's too soon to tell. Nobody really knows except for the engineers at Dodge what this thing will really make, as far as I understand. But I do think it will make over 1,000 horsepower, and there's a big reason why. I think that if they don't make at least 1,000 horsepower, I think everybody's going to feel like this thing was a failure. I've said it in the past. The Plaid has already thrown down the gauntlet, running like 9.2s right off the showroom floor. It's just ridiculous how fast that is. Basically the fastest production car in the world, at least the quickest, I should say, in the quarter mile. And I mean, that thing competes with cars that cost in the millions. It is insane what that thing will do. Well, if Dodge doesn't really step up and they don't make a car that makes similar type horsepower, I just don't think there's going to be a huge market for it. Everybody's going to say, well, why not just go buy the Tesla? I think it's going to be fairly expensive. Their top of the line, their top tier offering, it's going to be well into the 6 figures. If we know anything about the Plaid, which really started about 130, I have to believe that this car, maybe not 130, but I got to feel like it's going to be somewhere in that range. So it's not going to be for the faint of heart, but I do think it's going to be very fast. I think it's going to be at least 9-second capable, maybe low 9s, just like a Plaid. My number on this car is actually 1,050. That is my educated guess on what I think this new car will make. Now, if it comes out and it's got, say, even 850 or 900 horsepower, I just don't think that many people are going to want it, because so many of the performance enthusiasts out there are so fixated on just numbers and capability. And if this is the top of the line offering that they're going to have, well, it better really bring the noise. And we already know that Tesla is going to be putting out their new Roadster car. that one is going to be really insane. They're saying that thing could run high 8s in the quarter mile at over 170 miles an hour, and it may produce more power than the Plaid as well. And we don't really know, but we know it's going to be incredibly fast. Now, that's going to be $250,000, that car. So let's hope that that Dodge is not trying to kind of compete with that, especially from a price point perspective, because if it's too expensive, obviously people won't buy it. It's already going to stretch the budget for a lot of people, but I think it's going to be extremely capable, extremely fast, 1,000 plus horsepower. I think that is where it needs to be. So a couple other interesting points that I want to bring up. Recently, Dodge asked for a copyright patent on that Tomahawk name. Will this new car come out with a Tomahawk discretion? I don't know. Will it carry over into, will this be the new Challenger? Nobody really knows yet, at least the folks normal folks like me and you. We just don't have any idea just yet. But like I said, I'm pretty excited in just about a month that they're going to be releasing this thing. It should be interesting to see what they come up with. We know it's going to have an all new, very unique sound. Whatever that may be, they've talked about it at length. This thing is going to have a very unique sound to it. Just from an electric perspective, many of you have stated you hate the whole idea of the fact they're piping in artificial sound, but that's the world we live in right now, guys. So what will it really sound like? Will it sound like a spaceship? Will it sound like a muscle car? What will they do with the sound on this? Hard to say. Now, you can also look at the Dodge Garage on Dodge's website, and you will see the very next thing that they're getting ready to reveal looks like almost sort of like a ghost. I'll put it on the screen for you with its hands up. So to me, that means they're probably going to release the power numbers and talk about just how incredible this new offering might be. Who knows? Maybe it'll show up and it'll be 1,200 insane horsepower or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, if Dodge doesn't release something that's just crazy from a horsepower perspective, I just don't see a lot of enthusiasts being all that interested in it. I mean, it needs to be one of those kind of Hellcat moments. When 2015, when the Hellcat came out, everybody was floored because it's like 707 horsepower in a muscle car and in a sedan. And we just haven't seen anything like that. We saw the Shelby at 640 something. And then this thing just blew everybody out of the water. Well, Dodge needs another one of those iconic type moments where they release this thing and everybody is absolutely wowed by the capability, by the horsepower numbers, by everything that it does. And it needs to do a couple of things that are very unique that we have not seen before. I think if Dodge can put those things together and then bring this thing to market at a price that isn't absolutely astronomical, 200,000, some crazy, ridiculous, stupid number, which we have to wait and see, then maybe this thing will have a little bit of success. But if it falls any short on really any of those things that I just talked about, I fear that it may not do well at all. Now, another poll that I put out a while back was if you were able to afford Dodge's new EV muscle car, would you buy one? And over 10,000 people voted. And by and large, the vast majority of people still said no. So how will Dodge kind of change everybody's mindset to be interested in a car like this? Well, I kind of gave you the magic formula. We'll see what they actually come up with. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait for them to at least show us what they came up with. I know their engineers have been working very hard to give us a very unique offering. So let's just cross our fingers and hope. I know so many of you guys absolutely hate EVs, but let's hope they at least put something cool together for us that we can get a little bit excited about as we make this transition. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all this. About a month's time, we're going to know exactly what we're dealing with. Let me know what you think the horsepower numbers will be in the comments down below. Will people buy it? Is it going to be a success or a flop? I'd love to hear it, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.